Hey everyone, it's the Vigilant Christian Mario, and you're here for another Vigilant Biblical Teaching, and also New Age Movement Exposed video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about what we need to be doing with the occult and New Age items that we've collected in our lives, if we truly want the blessing of God and the spiritual power of God to manifest in our lives. If you haven't heard my personal testimony on myself going through it, go back to my channel and check it out. I was so heavy into this form of spirituality that it would blow your mind. I was in contact with over 30 spirit guides. I've actually manifested, psychic abilities. I was a tarot card reader. I could draw you up your astrology chart. I was able to do these supernatural things with these quote-unquote powers that I received from doing these practices. I went down the path of becoming a yoga instructor and studying the Bhagavad Gita and all these things. And I'm here to warn the people here today who are practicing these things. You need to wake up and be vigilant. There are spiritual forces in the spirit realm that are deceiving, and they are not good. Although they can appear good, it's like a beautiful cake and you want to eat it, but then you eat it and it's pure poison. So you need to be vigilant against those forces, not be so naive and think that everything that comes from the spirit realm is good. If we look to the Bible, we see that we have a revelation, a divine revelation from God himself, that the spirit realm has operating in it fallen angels, spirits who masquerade themselves as bringers of wisdom, as angels of light. So we need to be vigilant against this. So this video here today is to encourage you to do what the Bible calls you to do, and that's to get rid of all these items. If you're in a spiritual process right now where God is starting to transform you and call you into the kingdom and make you new again, there is a purification process that is part of the metamorphosis, the transformation that is found in becoming a believer through God's Spirit. And part of that is to get rid of all the demonic and witch curses that have been placed upon your life. Now, that might sound crazy, and I know that people who don't understand spiritual things automatically will discredit this as nonsense, but we need to recognize that we live in a fallen world. The media has completely brainwashed the people. They do nothing but, go out and party and live for themselves, and this world is falling away, just like the Bible predicted it would. So we need to look to the Bible today, yesterday, 1,000 years ago. It's still relevant today to see what it is we need to do. So the first thing I want to look at here is the book of Acts, chapter 19 and verse 19. We actually have new Christians coming to Christ, and we see an example that's set by them about what they did with their books and the different items that they collected. In Acts chapter 19, verse 19, it says, "Many who became believers confessed their sinful practices. A number of them who had been practicing sorcery brought their incantation books and burned them at a public bonfire." And the value of the books was several $1 million. So the message about the Lord spread widely and had a powerful effect. So you see here an example by the early Christian church about what to do with these items. And I myself had a really large collection of books. I'm not kidding. I spent thousands of dollars on it. I had crystals that were over $100 each, these massive ones that I had around my house. I had all the little ones. I had several tarot card decks. I had the astrology Bible, basically. I had every Deepak Chopra book you could imagine, Dr. Dyer type of spiritual DVD audio books and all that, and I had to get rid of it. The Buddha statues, everything had to go. And I remember this was part of the cleansing. And just to share with you what happened is, as I became closer to the Lord, my spirit guides, when they appeared to me, they looked really good. And that's one thing we need to recognize about Satan. The media does a fantastic job as making him out to be this red horned, gross and evil being. Now, he can transform himself, and I'm sure he loves to take evil and demonic forms. We see this in the manifestation of horror movies to instill fear in humanity subconsciously. So, he does manifest in this form, but his true form is an angel of light. He's a deceiver. He's the father of lies. So we need to recognize that he is not going to come to us like we expect him to when we see him portrayed in the movie. He's going to be very subtle, and he's going to come to us in a very, very subtle way. So it's to be vigilant against these very things. Now, another thing to point out is if you went to these places, you collected a whole bunch of the books and stuff like that. And we need to be able to identify them. And how you identify them first is not by the items themselves. You're actually going to notice that something is going to begin to happen. I'm going to leave a link for you in the description section to an article I found called Spiritual House Cleansing of Occult Curses. So if you go in the description section, you're going to see there. But the first thing that you're going to notice is how this is going to manifest is you're going to have the symptoms of spiritual pollution and demonic attack, because these items actually open ourselves up to the demonic coming and oppressing us. You can have sudden chronic ailment, reoccurring bad dreams and nightmare, insomnia and unusual sleepiness, behavioral problems, relationship problems, lack of peace, restlessness, disturbed children, unexpected illness, bondage to sin, ghosts or demonic apparitions. I've seen a lot of people get sleep paralysis, where they wake up and demons are literally choking them and oppressing them. Foul and unexplainable odors, continual nausea and headaches. So you're going to experience these things, and these are very normal because you've opened yourself up. These items that you collect at these places, they actually, they have a spirit attached to them. Sorcery implants the demonic into these items, and then you bring them into your house so that these spiritual influences have an impact on your life. Now, it's very important to learn to identify. In this article is also a list of different items that you can look at to see exactly if it is those things and then get rid of them. Another way to notice is just look at the stores you went to. I know one of them that I went to very often to get my sorcery, witchcraft, new age, occult items was called Sacred Source. They have all these cool names because Satan's a deceiver. Earth Spirit and Sacred Source. Well, there's nothing sacred about it. It's pure demonic. But of course, because Satan has an ability to masquerade as an angel of light, he can come and do and deceive you in this way. One of the items I want to share with you that I had was this one. I had to get rid of. This was in the getting rid of it. The Ascended Masters Tarot Oracle deck of cards that I use to contact the spirit beings. Look, they look beautiful. This right here doesn't look like a demon to most people, but if you really break it down and you look at the underlying theology that they're teaching through these type of books and this type of contacts with these spiritual beings, is nothing but Satanism. It's, you are your own God. Everything is God. Ye shall be as God. That man himself has the divine spark within him. It's all tied into the same occult concepts. Okay, so you need to be able to identify the occult, deeper spiritual meanings in order to really see what's going on here. And here's the thing, like I said, these beings come to you as angels of light. Okay, the Ascended Masters or the spirit beings from Pleiades that are here to assist humanity in this conscious shift of evolution. It was supposed to happen in 2012, but let's just forget and sweep that under the rug, even though all the spirit beings told me, including pretty much every other spiritual leader out there, something significant was going to happen, and we're pushing 2014 and nothing's happened. Okay, so these are lying spirits. Don't listen to them. The Bible tells you to test the spirits, and that's the thing about the occult. You don't test it. You think that automatically all things in the spirit realm are good, and you just dive in there head first. And that's a huge problem, because what's going to happen is just like me. You're going to get to a point where you're going to get woken up by God. And when that happens, here's the key thing. These spirit beings that look like angels, like I'm showing you on your screen here, are going to turn very demonic, and they're going to get very upset. What happened with me is, they were beautiful. They looked like this. They'd come and they were my friends. They were guiding me with my finances and my relationships, and they were guiding me into spirituality, and they were guiding me everywhere in my life with everything. I had a spirit guide for everything, one for every single different thing, one for money, one for relationships, one for everything, you know. And so they were beautiful and they helped me out at that point. But then all of a sudden I start turning to God, and man, they didn't like that. All of a sudden I can't sleep at night. I'm waking up in sleep paralysis. I'm being tormented in my mind by visions and vivid thoughts of evil things. And you know, one experience, you know, I had opened up my third eye big time, so I was able to really see into the spirit realm through the spiritual eye. And what happened is I started seeing manifested demons. You know, they would I'd be making a protein shake in my living room or my kitchen, and all of a sudden this demon would crawl up my leg and shove my face in the blender and tell me, Satan owns you and you're not gonna ever let go. And I was like, okay, man, this is too much, you know, I got to get saved. And part of that process of eliminating those thoughts and eliminating that and closing the third eye and really getting into God was a purification process I had to go through, and that was eliminating the items. So for me, I just grabbed a garbage bag once God gave me this revelation, and I grabbed all my Buddha statues, all my tarot decks, my astrology books, my New Age books, a big old garbage, and I threw them out. And the important thing also, don't pass any of this on to anyone. Don't basically give these items away. They're cursed. They're evil. One of the reasons that in the book of the Acts they use fire is because fire is purification. It absolutely is consuming. So it will consume the item as well as the spirit behind it. So put it through the fire and pray and believe that God will cleanse you. So definitely check out that article and definitely start this cleansing process in your life. Don't wait. Make haste with this. This is very important for you to do. It's only you that's holding yourself back when you cling on to spiritual items that have curses on them. Cleanse yourself. It's like when you come to Christ, He's looking to purify you. And these are like, imagine you have a white robe on, and having these items is just continuously adding stains to that robe. The purification will happen when you get rid of these items and break the curse and bondage that they have in your life. And God can really start making you new, because in Jesus Christ, all things are new, and the old has passed away. Behold, behold that, see that. The new is starting to birth. It's a spiritual rebirth, the real spiritual rebirth, not the counterfeit one that's found in these false belief systems. This is the real, authentic truth, the absolute one, the one and only truth. There's only one way to the Father, and that's Jesus Christ. He is Lord of Lords and King of Kings, and I promise you, you'll never regret getting rid of these items. And the cool thing is, I got rid of all those items, and you know what I had left at the end of it? One single Bible. And that's all I needed. That's all I needed for my spiritual life. And there was more spiritual power in that book than all those things combined, all the New Age and occult books, because they're running on a counterfeit power. All they do is counterfeit what God truly has. That's what satanic power is, and it's satanic knowledge. It's just a counterfeit, a contortion, a twisting of God and His true glory and power. So this is the Vigilant Christian saying, God bless each and every one of you, and thank you for taking the time to listen to this to me. Get rid of your occult items and stay vigilant.